What is up, guys? If you're new to the channel, welcome. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. If you feel like your credit score is holding you back, well then it probably is. Your credit score is a very powerful tool that can help you unlock opportunities and help you achieve certain goals. Chances are, if you're looking to buy your dream house, start a business, or even purchase a new car, your credit score will have a big impact on your financial purchases and, without a doubt, your financial future. What is a credit score? A credit score is usually a 3-digit number that ranges from 300 to 850. This number reflects your credit risk. In other words, the likelihood a person will pay their bills on time. Generally, 300 to 580 is seen as poor, 580 to 669 is seen as fair, 670 to 720 is seen as good, and 720 and above is determined to be excellent. The higher, the better. This number, your credit score, is calculated based on information in your credit report, which is just the records on your credit history. Now, there are several scoring models that can be used, but for this example, and the most common is the FICO score. The score is calculated using various factors like your payment history. This history shows whether a person has paid their bills on time. Credit utilization. This is a calculation expressed as a percentage that shows the amount of credit you're using divided by your overall credit limit. Length of credit history. This shows how long a person has been using credit. Generally, the longer the better. Credit mix. This is a mix of all the different types of credit you currently have, like credit cards, mortgages, and loans. And finally, any recent requests for new credit that you made, which just shows how much new credit a person has applied for. Why are credit scores so important? Simply put, lenders and other financial institutions are more likely to let you borrow money if you have a high credit score, which will also result in more favorable credit terms for the individual, and this will translate into lower payments and less interest paid. Additionally, landlords may also check your credit score when deciding if they should rent to you. Here are some of the most common credit score mistakes you should avoid. 1. Applying for too much credit. Every time you apply for new credit, like a new credit card, within a short period of time, it creates a hard credit pool on your credit report. And the reason this is bad is because lenders will see you as a risky borrower, someone who takes on too much debt, making it more difficult to pay back. 2. Making late payments on your loans and credit cards. It may seem harmless, but even one late payment can cause your credit to drop. It's so bad that late payments can remain on your credit report for up to 7 years. On top of that, late or missed payments account for 35% of the overall score. We have is maxing out your credit cards and keeping a high balance. This is your utilization ratio, the amount of credit you're currently using compared to the total amount available to you. Among these, closing old credit cards is just unacceptable. This can hurt your available credit and impact your utilization ratio, so it's better to leave it open. Then we have defaulting on a loan. This could have a significant impact. And finally, one that everyone overlooks is not checking their credit reports for errors. Now, here's what you can do to fix a bad credit score. Fixing a credit score is definitely possible, but here's the catch. This will take some time and effort, and without time and effort, there's no improvement. So first thing you need to do is run your credit report and identify any errors or inaccuracies that could be hurting you. You can obtain a free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once every 12 months by going to annualcreditreport.com, or you can call 1-877-322-8228 and request a report from one or all 3 of the bureaus. Next, after you've completed that step, if you requested it online, you should be able to access it immediately. And if you ordered your report by calling this number here, it should be processed and mailed to you within 2 weeks. Now, once you get your report, you can examine it and see exactly what is hurting your score. Once you run a full review, you'll see that for the most part, it's one of these. Number 1, a lack of credit history. Having a limited or no credit history can negatively impact your score because there's no way to evaluate you. This can be very challenging, especially for young people, but here is what you can do. You can go to your local bank or online on the web and open up a starter credit card. I will probably make a video in the near future about the best entry-level credit cards. If interested, drop a comment in the comment section. Next, And the most common thing you'll see is late or missed payments. And here is how this works. Lenders will typically report late or missed payments to the credit bureaus once the payment is at least 30 days late, since payments are typically due monthly. And the longer the payment is past due, the more of the impact on your score. Now, if you have late or missed payments, here are some steps you can take. The first thing you need to do is contact the lender and explain your situation. I recommend that you negotiate a payment plan or simply ask for forgiveness. And chances are the lender may be willing to work with you and possibly remove a late payment. Overall, by doing this, you can avoid having a late or missed payment from ever being reported on your report. If you're just genuinely a forgetful individual, you can consider setting up automatic payments. That way, you can be sure they're made on time. And after a thorough review, if you do end up finding any errors on your credit report, such as late payments or an account that doesn't belong to you, then you can go online and dispute them with the credit bureau that issued the report. You will then probably need to provide some supporting documentation to support your case. And once the credit bureau has your report, they have 30 days to investigate your dispute. And once or if it's resolved in your favor, all the required corrections will be made. Third, if you've gone a little overboard with your spending, your credit card, and have all your accounts pretty much maxed out, you will need to pay down your balance as quickly as possible. And the reason this is important is because it will increase your credit utilization ratio. And a high credit utilization ratio signals to lenders that you're relying too heavily on credit. Now, the most effective way to bring your utilization ratio down is to pay down your balances. So I would start with that first, and I would recommend you start with the highest interest rate. Then, after you have done that, you can request a credit limit increase. Before we move forward, I should point out that you should only do this if you have a solid income and are sure you can make the payments. That way, once your lender increases your credit limit, just like that, you've lowered your credit utilization ratio and improved your score. Fourth, you can go and get a credit rebuilder loan. This is a type of loan that you can get at your local credit union, online lenders, and community banks. It's designed specifically to help people improve their credit scores. These loans are secured, meaning you will have to put up some sort of collateral to get approved, and you'll typically have to pay interest and some fees for the loan. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one. It's important that you do your research. Anyways, let's kick this down the priority list for now. Finally, for accounts in collection, if you currently have some accounts in collection, well, you can negotiate a payment plan. Chances are the balance of the debt is a much lower settlement once the account is in collections. And that's because the original creditor has probably sold the debt to a collection agency. So chances are they'll take a lower settlement. One thing to keep in mind is that this can help improve your score, but it's really going to depend on the circumstances as well. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, keep it real, and I'll see you guys on the next one.